When Juraj Slafkovsky was drafted first overall in 2022, not everyone was happy. Canadiens fans were set on the idea of Shane Wright, and despite Slafkovsky eventually becoming the probable first overall pick, many still wanted Wright and Cooley due to their offensive flair and upside. They also wanted center iceman to complement Nick Suzuki. Fans felt like this provided an excellent opportunity to have a terrific 1-2 punch going down the middle for the future. Fans questioned Juraj Slafkovsky, but recently, Slafkovsky is resembling a first overall pick with his overall game, and he's beginning to impose his will on matches. As we can see here, Slafkovsky has also been a bit unlucky this season. He's expected to have about 10.3 goals this season, but he only has 9. He was relatively unlucky for one way or another at the beginning of the season. Missing nets, shots being blocked, goalies robbing him. He's also one of the best defensive forwards on the team, if not the best defensive forward on the team. And we can see, with Juraj Slafkovsky, Caulfield and Suzuki control 58%, almost 59% of the shots when they're on the ice. But without Juraj Slafkovsky, that control over the play plummets to 43%. Slafkovsky has one idol in particular, a Slovakian idol. That's Marian Hossa. He's mentioned in the past he'd like to be like Marian Hossa because of his all-around game, and he wants to be just like him. Oh, Marian Hossa for me, when asked who his idol is. Yeah, my best idol, my hero. I mean, 3 Stanley Cups, great person, great player all over the ice, and he's from Slovakia. And yeah, I was watching him play my whole life. I'm trying to be like him. And Slafkovsky's been compared to Hossa by other people, including Jeff Gordon, saying, even though defensively he's not there yet, we can compare him to Marian Hossa too. Jeff Gordon, the month that he was drafted in 2022. Hossa himself never won a Selke trophy, but he came close in 2013 and 2014 with a 5th place finish, despite being a winger. And he also had a 7th place finish in 2014-2015. He was facing stiff competition those years to fellow teammate Taves, as well as Bergeron Datsuk. Kent Hughes had an interesting quote about why they decided to take Juraj Slafkovsky, and it had to do with his defensive game as well. On Slafkovsky's mindset, I asked him today, what do you like the most about hockey? And he said, being on the ice at 4-3, whether we're winning 4-3 or losing 4-3. And that type of answer is what we saw of him as a player. When we talk about his desire to be a difference maker, you see it in the way he plays and when you speak to him. Now, this is interesting because whether you're winning 4-3 or losing 4-3. So this means that he wants to be on the ice when the team is winning so he can protect the lead or try and add to it. So, as mentioned, Slafkovsky is one of the best defensive forwards on the team, and he has an excellent impact on the ice with his long reach, his strength, his understanding of angles, his stick positioning, things like that. And when you're playing versus him, there's really not that much space. Either he's cutting off your time and space, your angles, getting in the lanes, or he's on the back check and he's getting in there and he's pestering you, making your life difficult. I know I would hate playing against a guy like him. But despite these defensive metrics and what we visually see as a terrific impact on the ice defensively, Slafkovsky has only played a grand total of 9 seconds on the penalty kill this season. Imagine that reach and that length and being on the penalty kill. It would cause problems for the opposition and probably a lot of offensive opportunities, like when Hossa was playing. On top of this, Slafkovsky is also known to be one of the leaders in blocks at forward. So, can Slafkovsky be like his idol, Marian Hossa? Well, when Marian Hossa was 20 years old, he had 30 points in 60 games for a .50 points per game average. And Slafkovsky, at the age of 20, had 51 points in 79 games for a .65 points per game average. So Slafkovsky had a better 20-year-old season. But then at 21, Hossa blossomed for 56 points in 78 games and a .72 points per game average. And Slafkovsky, in his 21-year-old season right now, is at a 0.57 points per game average. Now, we should also take into account that he is expected to have 10.3 goals, but he only has 9, in addition to other chances that he has set up that have not led to goals. But when you watch Juraj Slafkovsky and you watch Marian Hossa, there's a difference between the two. While Slafkovsky might be comparable in his style defensively, given his reach and his strength and his lower body strength and his power, he visually does not have the hands and the deceptiveness that Marian Hossa had, being able to manipulate players and utilize his intelligence to beat goalies. However, that being said, Juraj Slafkovsky appears to be on the right track to taking up the mantle of the next Slovakian superstar.